Hello, happy Thursday. I am Julie with Balance Life with Julie, regenerative health practitioner, holistic nutritionist. Today I am coming on live. I wanted to do a little talk related to my spring parasite cleanse update. Spring is a great time to parasite cleanse, and I happen to be parasite cleansing. So I thought today I would do a video sharing about what exactly I'm doing and how I do it. So that being said, if you are brand new to the channel and you don't know what this channel is about, I am a regenerative health practitioner. Regenerative health is really focused on addressing the root causes of healing and supporting the body in such a way that the body can heal itself. So I myself, what has brought me to this work is I reversed hypothyroidism and Hashimoto's 100% holistically over 6 years ago. And so on this channel, I share some of the things that I've done, some of the things that I'm experimenting with now as a practitioner, and how that can support you in your own health and vitality. But before I get into all of that, I want to share that my first book, Finding Light, is out. It is available on Amazon. Go get it. Every single person who reads this book tells me how much they love it. In the first half of the book, I share my own journey, how I kind of, stumbled and into all kinds of chaos in my life and in my health. And then the second half of the book is the healing modalities that I've used physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually to reverse chronic illness and to set up a life where I am thriving. So that's what I'm sharing in this book. Go get it on Amazon. If you read it, please leave me an Amazon review so that others can also learn what is in this book. So let me talk about how I'm doing this today. So I'm on a couple of different protocols. So I'm doing a parasite cleanse, and I'm also on a herbal protocol. I do a herbal protocol maybe once a year, usually around the springtime. And so also when it comes to parasite cleansing, it's very, very important that you do 2 rounds, not just one. People make that mistake all the time. The reason is that when parasites are leaving your body, when they are exiting your body, they always leave eggs. So we always want to do a second pass to clear out those eggs before they hatch. I know that sounds gross, but it is what it is. The other thing also is that it's really, really important that when you are parasite cleansing, that you parasite cleanse as a household, especially if you're in a relationship with someone. So I'm doing this parasite cleanse right now. My partner is also doing the parasite cleanse as well. So the way that I did this is back in March, I did 8 days of dry fasting. And I know that dry fasting and fasting in general will start to stir up parasites. A lot of people believe that fasting alone can eliminate parasites. It really depends on how deeply burrowed they are in your system, because some parasites, they don't leave. I mean, I've done 14 days of water fasting, 21 days of water fasting. I've done, multiple dry fasts now as we're here in 2026. And I can tell you that there are still parasites that stay in the system, and you got to flush them out. You got to force them out with the herbs. So today I am intermittent fasting. So I'm breaking my fast a little bit later in the day than I normally do. Normally I'd be breaking my fast first thing in the morning. And what I'm sharing with you now, I'd be doing first thing in the morning. But some days I feel like fasting later into the day. And even though I am parasite cleansing, I'm like, I'm just going to do what I normally would do in terms of taking my antiparasitics, but I take them when I break my fast, whenever that happens to be. So I'm on a herbal protocol. I'm on a herbal protocol that is like working on my whole system, on my endocrine system, my kidneys, my circulatory system. It's supporting the different systems in my body. So I'm doing 2 different kinds of herbals. I'm doing one that's like an overall, and then I'm also doing a lymphatic cleanser. And I did share this on one of my videos where I was talking about fasting, is that I know that in my case, my lymph system is very, very sluggish. And the reason that I know that is that I have a little bit of cellulite, not a lot, but I have a little bit of cellulite. So anytime we have fat deposits on our body, we have cellulite on our body, that really is a sign of like sluggish lymph. So I've got my herbs here ready to go. Sorry, they're very potent. So I always have to like work up a little bit of courage right before I have the shot. So I have a teaspoon of each of the tinctures in this glass. And you can water them down and have them like a little bit watered down, but I usually just prefer them straight up. So salud. And they're very strong, so it always takes me a second. There we go. Down the hatch that went. And so now that that is done with, I'm preparing my molecular hydrogen water. And I'm actually I've got an empty glass here. So I'm going to take my antiparasitics. I'm going to run an energy cycle on my bottle. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to wait for this cycle to finish. Then I'm going to put it in the glass and let me drop in a tablet of molecular hydrogen. So this little handy little tablet here. Sorry. You're with me. You're live. You're feeling it. I'm feeling it. All right. So this tablet has, not only does it have magnesium, which is elemental magnesium, which is going to make the molecular hydrogen, but it also has resveratrol, which helps support the mitochondria in our cells. It's got NR, which is a precursor to something called NAD+. A lot of people supplement NAD+, but I prefer giving my body the precursor to it so it can make its own NAD+. There's also B12 in here. There's vitamin C. And there's something called spermidine, which helps support cellular autophagy. Autophagy is the reason why a lot of people fast. And so here in this tablet, I'm getting all that. So I'm going to drop that in. And whenever my bottle is done its cycle, I'm going to pour that into the glass and have like souped up hydrogen, basically. And that is when I will take my antiparasitics. So let me show you what I got for antiparasitics. There is a tincture that I'm going to have to take, and this is even stronger than the herbs that I just took. And then I'm taking like Para4, and it's a combination of different herbs. So I take 2 of these, and then I'm also taking Super Cleansar, which is also a combination of herbs as well. So generally when I'm parasite cleansing, I always like mix and rotate different herbs. So the herbs that I did when I did my parasite cleanse back in March, I'm not repeating those herbs at all. I'm doing like a different set. And the reason for that is that if you do the same antiparasitic herbs over and over and over and over again, what happens is the parasites get used to it and they're just not as effective. So personally, I like to mix up the herbs and take different ones. So my bottle is ready. I'm going to pour it into I heard that little hydrogen pop. I'm going to pour it into my glass, most of the water, not all of it. And the tablet is going to start dissolving. And as soon as it dissolves, that's when I'm going to take my super aminos. This is all the essential amino acids that my body needs. And then I'll also take the herbals. And then I have to wait about 30 minutes. And once I've waited about 30 minutes, then I'm going to have some oranges and I'm going to have my big green juice. And the reason for that is that when I took the herbals, these herbals, I have to actually give my body 30 minutes before I can eat anything at all. And it's actually best to have fruit after I have those herbs because the fruit and the herbs work together in terms of supporting the body and helping to flush out the lymph system and whatever congestion is in my system that needs to be cleared. So my glass, I don't know if you can see it, but it's fizzing. The tablet is dissolving away and it's fizzing. I can hear it. It makes a little sound. So anyway, it looks like we're probably pretty close to having this tablet. So I'm going to do the same thing with this tincture that I did with the other tinctures, which is that I'm just going to take it straight up. So I fill up the dropper, take it. I got to have a little shot. There we go. That's stronger than even the other herbs. And when the tablet is completely dissolved, then I will have the rest of this. So I obviously am not doing this all the time, right? So I'm on this. The way that I did this parasite cleanse this time is I did my 8-day dry fast back in March, followed by 12 days on anti-parasitic herbs. Then I took about 20 days off, and now I'm doing another 12 days on a different set of anti-parasitic herbs. And then that's it. I'm done until the fall. And then in terms of the tinctures, I'm doing these for about 30 days, and then I'll be done with the tinctures. I only do the tinctures like once a year. Usually spring is when I like to do it because my body's kind of like craving to go deeper. All right, I think we're pretty much done. So let me take my aminos first. This is all the essential amino acids that the body needs. So I give them, I take the tablets because these are actually pre-digested, and the protein utilization on this is 99%. Anytime we're eating protein, we're only getting about 15 to about 40%. A lot of what you're eating actually doesn't get absorbed whatsoever. So this is just a way for me to make sure that I'm getting the best protein in the world into my body efficiently. And so that 99% utilization rate beats 40% any day of the week. So I like to just throw them back. Then I'm going to put in a little bit more water here. I got to take the herbals. So, done with the herbals. Ooh. And that's it. That's the routine. And I only have to do it like this for 12 days, and then I'm back to my regular routine. And so, yeah, I got to wait about 30 minutes. I'm just looking at the time now. I got to wait about 30 minutes. Then I get to have my oranges, and I get to have my nice big green juice. Look at how green that is. And yeah, so I will do that. And then later in the day, what I do is I repeat the same thing. I have to do the herbals again, and then I have to do the anti-parasitic herbs again. Usually I do that in the evening after dinner, and that's it. Other than that, I'm on fruit, I'm on superfoods, I'm on cold pressed juices. So that's what I'm doing diet-wise. I'm not doing any greens whatsoever. So someone just asked me, do I fast also? I fast. So I did a longer intermittent fast today. So I did closer to about 18 hours, 19 hours of fasting, of dry fasting. So it just depends. I don't fast every day. Some days I do, some days I don't. And then I will do a longer fast once a month at least. That's what it seems to be these days. I did like a 5-day dry fast back in, I did a 5-day dry fast back in January. And then I did an 8-day dry fast in March. And I don't know when I'm going to be doing like a longer fast, but generally at least once a month, I'm probably doing probably about a 40-hour fast, maybe a 72-hour fast, depending on how I feel and what's going on. A lot of it is really dependent on, how much stuff is happening in my world. So I really don't recommend fasting. Like if you have a lot of stuff going on, if you're on the go, if you're under a lot of stress, that's not the best time to fast. And then for anybody who has adrenal issues, if you're really, really feeling depleted, that's not the best time to fast either. So, for example, sometimes in my head, I might be like, oh, I want to do a dry fast or I want to do some type of a fast. But if I'm not sleeping well or I'm under a lot of stress, that's not the time to fast. It's actually really, really important when you're fasting that you're actually resting. And a lot of people don't do that. They're trying to keep their regular schedule. And I'm guilty of that as well. Like, I'm definitely guilty of like when I'm fasting, sometimes I don't take as much downtime as I need, which is also why the next time I do a longer fast, I'm going to make sure that I'm not working at all and I'm completely offline so that I can actually rest. Really good question, though. Okay. So then the other thing I wanted to cover very quickly in this video is some of the most common questions that I get with in terms of parasite cleansing. So one of the biggest questions I get is it important to change my diet? And the question is, and the answer is yes, it's really, really important that you change your diet. So generally, before I do a fast, I do at least 20 to 30 days of prep ahead of time. So, I mean, my diet overall is I'm raw these days. I do a lot of fruit. I do superfoods. I don't really do a lot of veggies. I do have at least one of these big green juices a day. This is like a double serving of my superfoods shake. And I think my body has been craving more mineral support, which is why I've been making like a double of my green juice and not having, because normally it's half this amount. But every day I go to make the green juice, my body is like just craving so much of it. So I end up doing a double of it. So I'm on fruits, I'm on superfoods, and I am doing some cold pressed juices. So the prep ahead of time is really important. And the reason for that is that as you're shifting the internal terrain in your body and you're making it more alkaline, the parasites don't like that. So what that's going to do is it's going to set up an environment within your body that when you do start to take the antiparasitic herbs, they're going to be that much more effective. So that's the first thing. The other thing is it's also really important to do heavy metal detoxing if you're not already doing it. So the greens in here, I usually also take cracked cell chlorella with this, which helps with heavy metal detox. I also do on my desk, there's zeolites that sit on my desk, and I do some of the zeolites every single day as well. So if you've never parasite cleansed, it's really important to start to transition your diet to a plant-based diet. Go as high fruit as you can, fruit at least for breakfast, ideally till noon if possible. And then do that for 2 to 3 weeks before you start taking antiparasitic herbs. And then it's really important when you're doing your antiparasitic herbs that you're doing a couple rounds. You don't just do one round and forget about it. Make sure that if you live with others that you are inviting them to do a parasite cleanse as well. Make sure that you have separate facilities. I know that sounds crazy. The first time I ever heard that, I was like, what? What do you mean have separate bathrooms? But yes, have separate bathrooms. Or if you don't have separate bathrooms, make sure that you're cleaning between bathroom uses because parasites pass between people. So those are some of the important things to keep in mind. The other thing is that as you're parasite cleansing, you are going to have things happen. You're going to have cravings happen. You're going to have mood shifts happen. I experienced this big time yesterday. I was in such a foul mood. I was in such a bad mood, and I could not figure out why. And then I realized I was like, oh yeah, I'm parasite cleansing. Because I couldn't understand, like, why was I in such, like, for lack of a better word, such a pissy mood? And it all had to do with the fact that, when the parasites are being flushed out, their environment is changing, you're taking these strong herbals to get rid of them, they don't like it. And so, they will mess with your mood, they'll mess with your thinking. And, you know, parasites have the ability to take over your nervous system. They have the ability to infiltrate and do whatever the heck they want. And most people feel like, how is that even possible? But that's how they work. And I can tell you 2 years ago, back in 2024, when I did a much longer parasite cleanse and I went so deep in terms of flushing things out, like I had stuff coming out of me, and there would be like, it would be like a 24-inch long worm, but then there'd be all these tentacles that were clearly going into different organs in my body and affecting those organs. So, yeah, so someone in the chat just said some people say parasites don't like apple cider vinegar. Parasites don't like certain things, but that doesn't mean that you're able to flush them out just by taking a shot of apple cider vinegar. That's like an old wives' tale, so to speak, right? It takes a lot of, like, when I'm parasite cleansing, I'm taking different combination of herbs. I'm not just taking one thing. I'm not just eating papaya seeds. I'm making sure that I'm taking herbals that have like a different blend of, wormwood and clove and walnut hull and other things. And like, so the herbals that I'm taking right now, they're completely different formulations. And it's not just one herb in each of those different things that I'm taking. It's different herbs in each of the formulations to really get at different things like flukes and worms. And because parasites aren't just one thing, they're different entities. Anyway, yeah, so that's kind of where I'm at with my spring parasite cleanse. This is day 3. I'm happy to say that yesterday I feel a lot better than I did yesterday, and I'm not experiencing any cravings so far. So this goes to show that it was good to do all that preparation work that I did before I started this particular protocol. So I'm going to day 12, which is not this Saturday, but the following Saturday, and then I'm done until the fall. And for myself in particular, because I have dogs, I have 3 dogs. They're cute, they're adorable, I love them. But, if you have dogs or cats, or if you're around animals in general, it's so easy to pick up parasites. And then just in the environment, walking in dirt, walking on grass, at the beach, touching a doorknob, in food, it's just so easy. And even though we're mostly microbe, like our body is more microbial than we are human, the things that I'm referring to when I talk about parasites are entities and organisms that are taking your vitamins, that are taking your nutrients, that are really messing with the way that you're thinking and your being and your whole system, but they're not giving anything back. So when we have most of the microbes that we have in our body, we have a symbiotic relationship. There's a give and a take. But parasites are the entities that are taking and taking and taking and taking. And they're also affecting your mood, your energy, your cravings, your thinking, your sleep, and creating kind of havoc in your body. So that's why you don't want them to just hang out. So the signs that you need to do a parasite cleanse is if you start to deal with depression or anxiety, if you're having like issues with your sleep, if you're having repetitive thinking, if you're craving a lot of sugars or processed carbs, if you are dealing with an autoimmune condition or like a cancer diagnosis, all those environments mean that you've got a lot of parasites within your system. So generally, I recommend that people parasite cleanse in the spring and the fall, just as preventative maintenance and just to stay on top of it. And so it's really, really important to make sure that you're doing that. And if you haven't done that thus far, please reach out to me directly. I have a group program. I guide people through proper parasite cleansing, preparing, doing it, and then the follow-up afterwards as well. And if you're watching this video and you're hearing this for the first time, about parasites. Don't let it freak you out. Everybody's got parasites. It's just a part of being human. But you want to make sure that you stay on top of it and you address those parasites. And yeah, so if you're not subscribed to this channel, please subscribe to the channel. And if you know somebody that would want to watch this video and hear this information, please share this video with them. And I want to thank you for being a part of my online community. Look below this video once this video is up and posted for information about my website, my social media, the link to my book. And yeah, hopefully, if you haven't already picked up the book, go pick it up. And I will see you on the next live in a couple of weeks. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being part of my online community. And I'll see you next time. Bye for now.